Buenos días, estudiantes. Hoy vamos a hablar de los stem changing verbs, los verbos de cambio radical. There are a couple of things you need to know about stem changing verbs. First, they change in the stem. We've already done the verb jugar, and you know that the U changes to a UE in those boxes that are in the boot. So these boxes, the stem changes. The nosotros and vosotros forms of the verb do not change. Also, there are different kinds of stem changing verbs. This one changes from the letter U to UE in the stem. There are other verbs like dormir, which means to sleep, and the O changes to a UE in that stem. We also have other verbs like querer, which means to want, and here the stem changes from E to IE. So we're going to learn about both of these today. When you're conjugating stem changing verbs, remember that the endings, whether they're AR, ER, or IR endings, they are conjugated the same way that all regular verbs. Okay, so with the AR verbs, it's o, as, a, amos, ais, an. ER, it's o, es, e, hemos, es, en. And then with IR verbs, it's o, es, e, imos, is, en. So let's take a look at the verb jugar, which we have learned before. The verb jugar changes in the stem from U to UE. Jugar is actually the only verb that changes from U to UE. So what I'd like you to do now is stop your video and conjugate the verb jugar in a 6-pack box. I have my 6-pack box ready to go, but I'd like you to finish yours, complete it, and then you can turn this video back on and check your answer. Okay, go ahead. Que les vaya bien. Okay, you're back. So as you can see, the verb jugar is conjugated from U to UE in the stem, and that stem only changes within the boot. I don't know if you can see that boot there. So the verb is juego, and you can repeat after me. Juego, juegas, juega, jugamos, jugáis, and juegan. So you'll notice in the nosotros and vosotros forms of the verb, the stem does not change. So it stays just like the infinitive, jugamos, jugáis. Muy bien. Okay, so now we're going to learn how to do it with the some other verbs. The other verbs that we're going to use to start off with are verbs that change from O to UE. So the first verb we're going to do is dormir, and it means to sleep. So I sleep is duermo. You sleep, duermes. He or she sleeps, or usted sleeps, duerme. The nosotros form, dormimos. Vosotros dormís. And then ellos, ellas, or ustedes duermen. So just as with the verb jugar, the U changed to a UE. Here with the verb dormir, the O changes to a UE. Okay, the last verb that we're going to look at that changes this way from O to UE is the verb poder. You know this because we've talked about it a lot. So puedo means I can, puedes means you can. Turn off the video for a minute and see if you can conjugate the verb poder correctly. I'll be here when you get back. Okay, and now that you're back, you can see that we changed the O to the UE in the singular side of our six-pack box and the third person plural of our six-pack box. So we've got puedo, repitan, puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, podéis, and pueden. Excellent. So now we're going to move on to some verbs that change from E to IE. So again, here's the stem E, and these all change from the letter E to IE. Again, the endings are the same as regular AR, ER, or IR verbs. So let's try the verb pensar. It means to think. Turn off your video for a minute and see if you can conjugate the verb correctly in a six-pack box. Okay, so here's pensar. Pienso, repitan, pienso, piensas, piensa, pensamos, pensáis, and piensan. Muy bien. The verb querer means to want. It's an ER verb, so we use ER verb endings. In the stem, we change the E to an IE. So go ahead and turn the video off and see if you can conjugate the verb correctly. Okay, when you are ready to come back, you can see quiero, repitan, quiero. Let's repeat this one too. Quieres. And this one, quiere. Queremos, no change in the stem. Queréis, again, no change in the stem. And quieren. Okay, last verb that we're going to do today is the verb preferir. This one's a little trickier because it has two syllables in the stem. Pre, fe, and then ir. You are going to change the syllable that is not in the IR ending, because those get changed according to IR verb endings, but in the next syllable over. So it's this E that you change. And you can go ahead and turn your video off and try to conjugate it yourself. When you come back, I'll have it ready for you. Okay, so let's practice repeating this verb. Prefiero. Prefiero. It's a little longer word, so it's a little trickier. Prefieres. Prefiere. Preferimos. Preferís. Prefieren. Okay, that is it for the stem changing verbs that we're learning in this at this time. It takes practice. I'll give you a list that you can practice with on spaleon.com, and that will help you memorize them quickly. Bueno, muy bien, estudiantes. Gusto de verles y que tengan buen día. Hasta luego.